Hey guys, and welcome to my NFL week number 7 picks. We are moving quickly across the season and we have some very exciting games of football this week. It all starts on Friday here in Australia, Thursday night football for you guys over in America when the New Orleans Saints take on the Jags. But let's get into my tips as well as a bit of a recap of last week.
Subscribe to Entertain House.
So I tipped 11 games from 14 correct over the week just been. I tipped the Kansas City Chiefs exact margin of 11 points against the Denver Broncos. I don't know why I doubted the Detroit Lions even a little bit because, man, they smacked up the Bucks in that game, and I was wrong once again about my upset. As for the Surgical Six, we were very, very close. I think the only leg that failed, if I'm not mistaken, was the San Francisco 49ers. You know, lots of injuries to the 49ers now, so it's going to be really interesting to see where they go. But let's get into my tips for this week. So guys, I am currently ranked number 14 in Australia here for NFL tipping and 123 out of 7,000 globally in the world. But let's get into my tips. So the first game, obviously I mentioned it, it's the New Orleans Saints taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the Jags have been playing really well. They've started the season 4 wins, 2 losses, really going under the radar a little bit here. And then the Saints, they're 3 wins and 3 losses. The Saints, you know, they were beaten by the Texans. I actually thought they were going to win that game. And I thought they played good, but the Texans, man, really underrated right now, the Houston Texans. They could be without Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars, for this game, which makes it really interesting. They do have a really good offense. Do they have enough offense without Trevor Lawrence? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. I know the Saints are at home. I know they probably need to win this more, but I think the Jags are going to have an even better record at 5-2 to start the 5-2 to start the season. And I'm going the Jacksonville Jaguars by 4. Next game sees the Chicago Bears at home taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Now the Raiders have gone back-to-back wins. You know, a safety the other day against the New England Patriots really got them what they needed to win that game the other day when they got into a really tough position. And, you know, their form right now is pretty good. They are on the road in this game at Chicago. And I don't think they've won at Chicago in a long time. I think it has been at least about 16 years since their last victory there. So this is going to be really tough, the mindset there. You know, the Bears, they were really good against the Commanders a few weeks ago. They were pretty good as well on the weekend, just gone here. But unfortunately, picking up another L, the Chicago Bears. They were better than I thought they were going to be. But the Raiders, man, they have been playing pretty good, especially in recent weeks. And I think this is where they go on a bit of a run. So I'm going to go the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game. I'm going to go the Vegas Raiders to win by 7 points. I think they should be a little bit too good for the Chicago Bears this week. Next game is going to be an interesting one. It is the Indianapolis Colts at home hosting the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Browns, a massive victory over the 49ers. They were able to hold on. You know, the 49ers, Brock Purdy got them into a position where they could have won the game, but the kicker unfortunately costing them, and the Browns picking up the points there. It was a great defensive performance by the Browns, and their defenses look pretty good all year for the most part. They have had, you know, some weird performances, very up and down team, but for the most part, you know, they haven't been down the bottom at all. As for this game, you know, I guess the Colts are a chance. They've also been playing pretty well, 3-3 to start the year, and 3-2 record for the Browns. But I'm going to go the Cleveland Browns here to go back-to-back wins. Their defense really impressed me, and on the road, I think they're going to get the job done. I think it's going to be very tight. So I am going to go a close game here, but I'm going to tip the Cleveland Browns to win by 2 points. Next game is the New England Patriots at home taking on the Buffalo Bills. Now, you know, the Bills, they were pretty lucky to win that game against the New York Giants, who absolutely gave it to them defensively. The Giants were great, really turned up for the Bills the other day. And then the Patriots, you know, 1 win this season. It's a really poor start. It's their worst start since, I believe, could be wrong, I think about 2003. It's been a long time since I've had this bad of a start. And, the Bills, obviously, it wasn't a massive margin. I probably did expect a bigger margin, but I think they can probably win this game well. I think that the Bills have more firepower within their offense. I think their defense can contain any chances that New England have, and I think New England will probably only score one touchdown throughout the game. So I'm going to go the Buffalo Bills to win by 14 points in this game. The Bills should be way too good for the Pates. The next game is a really hard one to tip. It is the New York Giants, who were great defensively against the Bills, but they have had a really poor season, just one win, up against the Washington Commanders, who haven't been too bad, 3-3 record to start the season. I tipped the Commanders last week, and people in the comments were telling me that the Falcons were going to win that game, but the Commanders, they're hot and cold, but they're more hot than cold. This is a must-win game for the New York Giants, especially in their context of the season, but it's one of those games where, even though they're at home, the Commanders going on the road probably should win this one. And I am going to tip an upset. I'm going to do it. The defense of the Giants looked fantastic for me against a pretty solid team in the Buffalo Bills. I know they haven't been, the benchmark this year, but they're still being good. So I think the Giants are going to get it done. I think it's going to be really tight, but I'm going to go the Giants to win by 3 points. Next up sees the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back at home taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Falcons, defeated by the Commanders, but another team that is playing pretty well. 3-3 record to start the year, and then 3-2 for the Bucs. So, really playing nicely. However, a bad loss there to the Detroit Lions, who have proven themselves as a contender in the NFC this season. Obviously, running the North there as well. I am going to tip Tampa here. I know that they had that bad loss the other day, and this should be a really interesting game, but I think that the Buccaneers at home, I think they're going to win. I think it'll be tight enough. I'm going to go the Bucs to win by 5 points. Now, this is going to be a fantastic game. This is on Monday morning for everyone in Australia. It's at 4 a.m. I will be on holidays at the time of this game, so we'll see if I can get up to watch it. There is one other game I'm really looking forward to, but this is up there. It is the Baltimore Ravens with a record of 4-2, taking on the 5-1 Detroit Lions. Now, this game is at Baltimore, so the Ravens obviously have that home field advantage going into this one. And, they got a nice win last week. I think it was against the Tennessee Titans. And then the Detroit Lions, a great win over the Bucs, and they can't wait to go back at home, I think, because they've had this away trip. But I love that the Detroit Lions go into this as underdogs. They are, this is definitely a game that's kind of a danger game for them. And do they deserve to be favourites? Probably, in my opinion. I'm going to do it. I'm going to tip the Detroit Lions. They are playing really, really good. Their defense, their offense, it's all working for them. Jared Goff is playing fantastic right now, as well as Amar St. Brown. I'm going to go the Detroit Lions, and I think they can win this by a decent margin. I still think it'll be a close enough game, but I'm going to go the Detroit Lions to win by 8 in this game. Next up sees the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers are 3-2 record to start the year, and it's 3-3 over for the Los Angeles Rams. They're coming off a victory. It's a tough game. It's a tough game, and I don't think the Rams have a very good record against the Steelers, which makes it even tougher. I think the Steelers are coming off a bye as well, which, keeps them fresh for this game. But, being at SoFi Stadium, I can't go past the Rams. I've liked what I've seen from them this season. They've got Cooper Kupp back now as well, which is a great boost for them. So, another game where I think the Rams might just get the points. I'm going to go Los Angeles Rams to win by 8 points in this game. Next up at 7 o'clock here in Australia at Lumen Field, it is the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals, they've definitely been in game, but they're having a very poor season. Just one win to start the season, as well as 5 losses. And a 4-2 record for the Seattle Seahawks, which a lot of people probably didn't expect, but they've had a nice start to the year. This game is at Lumen Field, so massive advantage for Seattle. Close game against the Bengals, who are starting to look like they could be back. But, as for this game, I'm going to go the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're playing really, really well. So I'm going to go the Seahawks to win by 10 points. This probably could be one that could be 14 plus, but I'm going to play it safe and say Seattle do win by 1-13. Next up, you've got the Denver Broncos taking on the Green Bay Packers. This is from Empower Field at Denver. The Broncos absolutely need to win this. Then again, the Packers' record of 2-4 isn't great, but 1-5 for the Denver Broncos. Really worrying signs. They need to put in a good performance at home, and I think Russell Wilson needs a win to boost his confidence, because right now it is so bad, and Sean Payton's plays, I can see that they're trying, but it's looking like it's going to be a very long season for the Denver fans there. I'm going to go the Green Bay Packers, but I do think this will be close. I think they will snatch the game away from the Denver Broncos. They'll just find a way to do it, and I think that the Packers will win by 3. Next game sees my Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, the Chargers' defense was horrible against the Cowboys. I watched that game the other day. They were definitely in the game due to some errors from both teams, some crucial play, but the defense of the Cowboys was just too good for the Los Angeles Chargers on the day. And I don't want to lose to the Los Angeles Chargers at all. I know we're 5-1, and we're probably due a loss at the moment. Haven't been playing all that well. I still think we have another level in us. And a 2-3 record for the Chargers. So they probably need to win this game. It's going to be tough at Arrowhead for them. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go Kansas City to win by 11 points. I'm going to stick with that margin. And I'll try and watch this game as well, as I said, on holidays. But I would love to watch the Chiefs beat the Chargers. The next game is going to be one of the games of the year, in my opinion, at Philadelphia Field, Lincoln Financial Field at 11 a.m. We have the Philadelphia Eagles with a record of 5-1 taking on the Miami Dolphins with a record of 5-1. It is Jalen Hurts versus Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa right now is in the box seat to potentially win the MVP. Tyreek Hill is playing out of his skin. Really, really tough game to pick because the Dolphins are in such red-hot form. I know that the Eagles are coming off a loss to the New York Jets, but they are having a great season. The Eagles worry me a little bit because their defense hasn't been great. I do think that both of these teams have great offense, but I think that I'm gonna do it. This is very tough to pick. I'm gonna tip Philly. I'm gonna tip the Eagles to win this game. I'm going to go the Eagles by 6. This is going to go down to the wire, but I think Philly at home should just be able to get it done. We've seen a weird loss to Miami earlier in the year, and I think that those kind of signs worry me. And Eagles, it was a tough loss to the Jets, first in their franchise history, so congratulations to the Jets. But I think the Eagles at home, Jalen Hurts will bounce back here. Eagles to win by 6. I'm not confident in this tip. And the final game on Tuesday at 11, and this one is in Minneapolis. It is the Minnesota Vikings taking on the 49ers. Now, the 49ers will be without Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel for some time, but I still think that they have enough within the squad. And I mentioned it, Brock Purdy, getting them downfield, getting them that opportunity. Can't be missing kicks again like that for sure, but I think that the 49ers will beat the Vikings, and I'll go the 49ers to win by 11 points. So those are my tips for the NFL this round. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your tips in the comments. In regards to a bet, I would take the Chiefs at the bet, and I would probably take the Eagles as well as the Browns as the 3 teams that I think will win. But I hope you enjoyed it. Plenty of NFL content coming, and I'll see you guys later.